Joining us now is retired U.S. Navy Captain Armin Kurdian. Captain, thank you so much for your time. First of all, so much focus on this search. What type of equipment is out there in the water right now? How is it operating, and has that changed at all, from even yesterday, because time is seemingly running out?
Well, thanks for having me. So there's a lot of equipment that is out there. First of all, you have sonar. The P3 that is flying overhead dropped sonar buoys into the water, which can either passively listen for sounds under the water, sound emanating hopefully from the submersible, or they can also drop sonar buoys that actually emit very loud pings and sound that can hopefully reflect off of the submersible and then be received by that sonar buoy or other sonar buoys, because under the water radar obviously doesn't work. However, if the vessel happens to be floating on the surface and we just haven't found it yet, that's where a lot of the vessels that are out there right now, just with their regular two-dimensional navigational radars, just you could even be a fishing trawler with a nav radar out there looking that could hopefully reflect off of the hard metal surface of the platform. And then you've got the deep sea cable laying vessel with a remote operated vehicle that has some lamps on it and cameras. And then you've just got folks out there looking with their good old eyeballs and pair of binoculars, hoping to get lucky and finding the submersible in seas which are actually not too bad for this time of year, which are helping rescuers a little bit, but still haven't found it, obviously.
All right, so Captain, we talk about the fact that, apparently this vessel is equipped with something that allows it to float to the surface, but that may or may not be working. So you just said something there that, maybe it is floating on the surface. Is it possible that it is, and it's maybe just out of the range in which crews are searching?
So if it's floating on the surface, depending on how much of the submersible is actually over the surface of the water, will seriously impact its ability to be spotted either by eye or by radar. If it's just a small amount, that round curved surface may just be on the surface of the waves, and nothing is going to catch it. So it's just going to depend on how close it is. They suffered more than obviously a communications failure. Had it just been that, they would have come back to the surface on their own power. They obviously lost propulsion, and something else happened. I don't believe it was an implosion, because had that happened, that sound would have been very loud, and Polar Prince would have picked that up. We can hope that they are on the surface just waiting to be found at this point. That could be the best scenario at this point.
All right, so Captain, let's say they are not on the surface. Let's say maybe they're trapped under something or caught on something. With the equipment in this search, is there equipment with the capability of actually bringing the vessel back to the surface?
It would be a great challenge. There are very few vehicles, remote operated vehicles, that can operate at that depth, even fewer manned vehicles. And the problem with those is just where they were placed on the surface of the earth, just to get them transported over there, operating and crewed in time. There just wasn't enough time to make that happen. The hope is, the worst case scenario is if they are on the ocean floor, it is going to be very challenging to get them up. If they are somehow tangled within the wreck, then I know a French vessel is coming out there with an ROV that can operate at those depths. Hopefully, perhaps they can disentangle it or cut something that they happen to be stuck on. But if that was the case, I believe we might have heard from them. Now, the sounds that we've heard, this supposed bang of these underwater noises, hopefully it was received by more than one of these sonar buoys and picked up by other passive sonar detecting platforms, in which case you might be able to triangulate and determine at what depth those sounds came from, and also analyze to make sure that it was actually a kind of a man-made noise instead of a natural noise. That's very important. It'd be nice if we had a couple of our nuclear attack submarines there with great sonar, the ability to ping and also listen in. I heard that a couple of them are on their way. So just bring as many assets to bear, as many resources and sensors in one location as possible. That improves the odds that at least the vessel will be found, hopefully with the crew still alive inside.
Absolutely. So let's say it is found. Let's say it is somehow brought to the surface. Can the occupants be saved? Because we know that there are limited oxygen levels left. And I'm assuming that the doors couldn't just be opened and, let the fresh air come in, because there's going to be a change in pressure and whatnot. How would that work? Would there be a way to get oxygen to them?
Well, my understanding is the vessel is sealed. It's bolted shut from the outside. They can't open it from the inside. If they were suffocating and they were running out of air, then obviously you would definitely have to open it up, which could potentially expose them to decompression sickness. But better that than suffocating. So you would bring them out, probably put them into pressure chambers and try to equalize their pressure, hypobaric chambers, what have you, and try to administer immediate medical aid, because at the very least, they're suffering claustrophobia. If there was some kind of fire inside the vessel, they might be suffering from smoke inhalation. There's absolutely no way to know. You just got to find them as quickly as possible and render aid, hopefully, as soon as possible.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.